one's live. This one's live.
Hi guys, I hope you all can hear us.
So no one's on yet anyway. Probably take a minute for people to come on.
I'm just gonna give it a couple of minutes so we get everybody on. So don't mind if you just see an image and listening to some background music. We just give a couple of minutes for the people who are late, because we're gonna have a whole heap of people who are late.
And don't forget to say hello if you come on live so we can see who is on the tutorial.
Okay, by now everybody should have everything prepped and ready. I've got some gloves on because when I start to play with my chicken, I hate the curry sauce in my nails, you know what I mean? Normally we wouldn't, you know, if I wasn't using curry, then I wouldn't, you have to have the gloves on. So here I've got my chicken. We got the onions, we got some ginger and some garlic. And if you have a Scotch bonnet pepper, great. If you don't, if you've got a normal pepper, that's fine. Don't cut it. Unless you like it's really spicy, but don't cut it. We just need the flavor from that. We got some thyme, some curry powder, and some all-purpose. You got two options. I'm gonna do it two ways. Now I'm gonna do it our way with a bit of oil, just to get started. But you don't need to do oil. When I am doing on the weekend, when I'm doing a cook for delivery, I never ever use oil. But at home, you know, we do whatever at home. So a lot of the Caribbean people have a little bit of oil just to get the onions and the chicken color.
Also, we're using chicken with bones today.
And we're also using chicken with bones. So we're whole chicken and we just chop it up. And we've decided to do that because even though, again, I do all my delivery boneless, the bone creates the best flavor, you know what I mean? You know, I don't like the curry chicken as much as I do when it's had its bone. And same with goat, you know what I mean? It's just, it creates such a nicer flavor. But however, I like to please you guys, and we did a poll and most of you wanted it boneless, so we do it boneless. So anyways, chicken is nice and clean. I wash it with some lemon. I know they say you're not supposed to wash it, but we're very conscious of cross-contamination, so we know what we're doing and we wash it away from everything else. But just a bit of lemon, just a bit of fresh lemon, just squeeze in it and just give it a rinse.
Somebody on Instagram has asked, is that a rum punch in the glass? Yes.
Yep. Oh, sorry guys, I know a few of you will have your rum, you know what I mean? We created a couple of glasses of rum punch just at the mood, so cheers. Okay, first get your chicken. And we're going to put our powders in our chicken. So get all your powder in your chicken. So first I put the all-purpose. Now a lot of you probably won't have all-purpose. So it's okay to use your mixed spices. The thing with the mixed spice, however, sometimes you possibly will need a touch of salt. So I won't use the salt because I've got the all-purpose and that has enough salt in it. All-purpose for us is a main Caribbean thing, seasoning that we use in every meat. Because it's got everything in it, even though we just enhance it with the other things that it already has. So I've put everything in the in my chicken. So I'm just checking you all can see everything, yeah. Get the onions in. Get ginger and garlic. Now don't be shy now. This is the thing that a lot of people are scared of. If you don't want to get your hands messy, you haven't got the gloves, get yourself a big spoon. That's perfectly fine to use a big spoon. So everything is in, and we just give it some loving, you know. And Bob Marley in the background say, you know, I want to love you. So normally, also, it's so important. I'm doing this because it's a tutorial. But in the future, when you do this at home, this must be done the night before. Put it in your fridge for 24 hours. You know what I mean? Because it just marinates a whole lot nicer. It tastes a whole lot nicer. Same with, a lot of people ask, is it okay to reheat food? Now, technically, we're not supposed to say, we're not supposed to tell people to reheat food 10 days later. But if you aren't going to eat your food straight away, and you wanted to eat it later on in the night or the next day, the longer it sits, believe it or not, even when it's cooked, it's the nicer it tastes. So make sure you get all of that marinated, and then get your stove on. Let's switch on for us.
On a high heat.
Yeah, get your stove on a high heat.
Oh,
Yeah.
just gonna put
So we're going to put a little bit of oil in. Now, if you're not going to use the oil, that's perfectly fine. Don't do anything at the minute. Just a little bit more. Yeah, so just a little bit of oil, you know what I mean? Not a lot. Everybody okay? Everybody?
What curry powder do you recommend? I've been using Big Frank's. There's
loads of curry powder. Now, if you want to keep it authentic, stick to something Caribbean. Tropical Sun, a lot of people don't rate it, but it's a really authentic and easy to get a hold of. I use a secret one, but I'm not going to tell you. But Tropical Sun, there's Grace, there is Dunn's River. All of those people got a curry sauce and they got an all-purpose.
Hey, Deborah.
So if you want to keep it as authentic as possible, I mean, I know a lot of you, this was sudden, or, and a lot of you, I couldn't get a lot of things. I can't get plantain, I couldn't get some bun and cheese delivered. A lot of things are not being delivered. So you'd struggle to get anything delivered. But in the future, Grace, Tropical Sun, Dunn's River, or any of them big companies, you can get a curry sauce, so you can get an all-purpose from. So
Letting the oil get hot.
just letting the oil get a bit hot. If you're not using oil, that's perfectly fine. I'm going to tell you what you're going to do in a minute. So what I'm going to do, because I'm using a bit of oil, I just take a bit of the seasoning off. And just put it in, just to give it a little bit of color. Now if you've got your pot ready and you're not using oil, just go ahead and put everything in it. Everything in it, and put it on. Put your carrots, your potato in, everything in. Oh, I gotta get some water. Yeah, so just put everything. If you're not using the oil, just go ahead and put your stuff in. No, they put everything in. Yeah, so now I've done that. Normally we just let it get a bit of color, get a bit of color, turn it over. But for whoever is not using oil, just put your everything in. Once it's seasoned, rubbed together, put it in the pot. Put your carrots, your potato in, and put some water in. Okay, just put a little bit of water for now. I'm gonna add some water. I'm gonna tell you how high to bring the water levels. So all I'm gonna do is just turn it over a little bit. Is everybody okay? Any questions? The phone is on a it's on a.
Kina, you're welcome. Kina said thank you for bringing this for us.
Nope.
Stephen said that. Oh, sorry guys, I'm trying to read at a really weird angle. That chicken looks amazing, my brother, and he'll take a plate.
No problem, mate. No problem. Okay, so for anybody who are not using this method, now get yourself a jug of water. Once you got everything in, got your carrots and potato in, just get yourself a jug of water. If you've used this method and you've done this, I'm going to put some water straight in the seasoning. And all I'm going to do now, I'm going to just add that to the pot.
Okay, well, for my Instagram. said all-purpose Dunn's River is our fave. You can get it in Tesco usually.
Great, there you go. And I know I know in the Bay, if anybody local to us, Morrison's do the Raja all-purpose. That's perfectly fine. You know, I know the Indians do a lot of stuff that we use very regularly. And that's perfectly fine, because a lot of the Indian brands, like Tropical Sun, believe it or not, Tropical Sun is not Caribbean. They're Indian, but they've created a decent enough brand. But me,
Oh, Chantal said, we're making up sweets and watching the best chef in the world.
Oh, thanks, Chantal. The key. This is where we get all the flavor from. Let's drop that in. Everybody, make sure you're at this stage where your bit of water is in with your chicken.
If anybody isn't at this stage and they want any help or they've missed something, ask the questions now so that we can answer and make sure that you guys are keeping up with them.
Now, because I use this way, I'm going to then drain my water off my carrots and potato, and then I'm going to add that to it. You don't want it, you want that consistency of water, so you don't want it swimming, because obviously that is just going to sit in and cook down. So
we love you too, Chantal.
Stephen, how you getting on, mate? My co-op people in Plymouth, how you getting on? So you get all your... By now you should have had everything in your pot. Where's that fork? Okay, I want to leave that. I don't want to mix that up because I don't want to break it, because you know everybody in my house are gonna have it, and I don't think they would like it very spicy. So now, guys, it's a very difficult one, because obviously a lot of you are probably not used to making it. So you might need, if you're using a proper all-purpose, no salt. Now, if you're using a mixed spice, just get yourself a couple bits of salt, a little bit of salt, and just sprinkle it in it. You know what I mean? Because it probably won't be as, you probably won't get the richness of that without a bit of salt.
Keena said, my children's grandmother taught me to use mild Madras curry powder. Is this okay? She's from St. Vincent. Perfectly
fine, love. Perfectly, yeah. I mean, some people, if you want it, depends. If people like it really spicy, then you can use the hot curry sauce. But, you know, when I do it as well, is all my curry sauce are mild. This is the only thing I will do with a Scotch bonnet. I won't open a Scotch bonnet in anybody's cooking, because a lot of people hate there's too much spice. But what I do is, I always, on every post, on every menu, you'll see that we say just request the spice level you need. So we add that after, basically.
Okay. There's another question there. Sorry. Mike said it looks good. Victoria said looks yummy. Nina said this is torture. I'm trying to fast today, but I can't not watch that I'm trawling. Emma said, who taught you to cook?
Emma, you know what? To be honest, love, I've been around my aunt and my mum my whole life, and I've watched them my whole life. But if I'm being very honest, I probably taught myself. You know, when we kind of, you know, I did bits of cooking, no great deal of cooking for myself. But then when I started this business, I just had to go back to the drawing board, speak to me mom, you know what I mean, and then just make sure everything I'm doing the way they did it, you know. And I use everything, my mom or my aunt, everything we used growing up in the Caribbean, that's what I use, just to keep everything authentic. So basically, look at it now. It's not drowning in water, it's just got enough water, and we're going to leave that. Now, if you're using chicken breast chopped, I would probably say 40 minutes. You know, a medium heat, 40 minutes, and you should be good. Because I'm using big chunks of whole chicken, I'll probably give mine an hour. Is there any questions anybody got?
We'll wait a couple of minutes before we go offline. And after you guys all finish cooking, post up your pictures on this live thread. We're going to save it to the page so we can see everyone's meals finished. And also, if you're watching it back afterwards, pop a little comment just to let us know you watched it and how you found the tutorial. We're looking to do these tutorials every week.
Yeah, so hopefully next week we'll maybe tackle a jerk, you know what I mean? Basically, so you've done a curry chicken, the same principle apply for your goat. The only thing with goat, it takes 5-6 hours, low heat. So it's going to take you much longer. So curry veg, again, similar, very similar. And that's quicker, obviously, because it's just veg. So now I'm going to just leave that. It's on a high heat, but I'm going to just let it get to a boil. And then I'm going to put it to a medium heat.
Victoria said, do you put the chicken in raw? Yeah.
Yes, Victoria.
If you watch it back from the beginning, Victoria, you'll see exactly how the chicken was prepped and ready to put in.
Yeah, I pretty much marinated first with all the seasonings, Victoria. I get it all marinated. I give it a little bit of quick frying without the onions and stuff on it, and then I chuck everything in a bit of water, and then I add my carrot and my potato. But if you're not using oil, that oil method, you just put everything in the pot. Everything after you've seasoned all of it together, put it in the pot, then add your carrots and potato. Put a bit of water in and just get to that level. You don't want it too much water because you don't want to drown it. And then everything we do as Caribbean, nothing is measured. You know what I mean? So if later on you find that you could have used a little bit more curry powder, a little less curry powder, a little bit more all-purpose, a little bit less. You know, garlic you can't go wrong with. And ginger, you don't want to overpower it with ginger, but you just want to have just enough. Yeah. Let's answer a couple of questions.
So Nina, what recipe is this? Where can I find the ingredients? We did a post on the page a bit further down, announcing that we were going to be doing this tutorial. All the ingredients are on there, so you'll be able to literally look on there and work, and it tells you like whether to chop them and how much to use and stuff. Hannah Campbell, best food in the Bay. Big up, I want some. Oh, thank you.
Oh.
Anna, we'll watch it back as I missed half of this. We'll cook tomorrow and post a pic. Thank you for this great idea. No problem, Anna. Yeah, definitely give it a watch back. And what we're also going to do is put these on YouTube, so therefore people won't have to scroll down the page to find the recipes. They'll all be in one place on YouTube. Nina said, I'm so hungry now. Kat said, loving this. Very easy to follow and fun to listen to. And Victoria, okay, I'll watch from the beginning later. And thank you. It looks easy enough for even me to cook. And Jill said, looks good.
Thanks, guys. Thanks. I hope you all enjoyed. Like I say, if you've used bone, give it 50 minutes, an hour on a medium high. Yeah, just to make sure it's cooked. Always, yeah. If you're using chopped breast, 40 minutes. You know what I mean, on a medium heat. So if you go to gas mark 5 or 6, just go 3.5. Just make sure it doesn't burn. You make sure you've got enough water or liquid in it so it doesn't burn. And that's how we're going to leave it now, you know.
Okay, Waffle on Instagram says, smelling delicious here, thanks guys, and any good side ideas. So we're just doing ours with rice.
So what we're doing today with this, usually when we do a delivery, I do rice and peas, because rice and peas is a typical Caribbean stuff that you do on with a food service. But very few Jamaican will have a curry with rice and peas. Most people do it with rice. So we've got some rice with a bit of butter that we're gonna do that with, and then we're gonna do that with some mixed veg. You know what I mean? So that's all you need to have it with, really. You can use a mixed veg, you can use salad, but do it with a bit of rice. If you can boil your rice, if you can use the Uncle Ben's pack rice, whatever rice you can use.
In fact, if anybody wants a tutorial at some point on rice and peas, we could do one of those. And also, weirdly enough, even plain rice, because when I met Andrew and I first cooked plain rice, which I thought I did perfectly well, he told me it was like rice pudding, and he told me how to do white rice without it being sticky. Something as simple as that. If you're not naturally a cook, we can literally do tutorials on the most basic things. Just comment on the post any tutorials you'd like to see in the future, because obviously we want to do these once a week for people. So we're more than open to ideas of which tutorials you guys would like to see.
Okay, so that's it. You know, any more questions? You know, I want to keep you guys entertained for a minute.
So Hannah said, "What are you drinking in that glass?"
Oh, girl, this. You know what? I had to run out this morning because one of me one of my very good customer asked me to make him some drink the other day, because we're friends as well. So I was gonna take her on some drink, but because we were doing the tutorial, we ran out of everything. So I went and got myself a bottle of Appleton. Where is it?
At the bottom. No, red lid.
So, a good old Appleton with a bit of Ray Neville, some strawberry syrup, and fruit juice. You can combine this is a typical fruit punch, and you can combine pineapple and orange, or just use what's that one you have in the fridge? The exotic fruit juice. So you just add a little bit of that, you know, however strong you want it, you know.
Co-op said, good idea, thanks. How about fried chicken one day? Yeah, we could.
Fried chicken, yeah, we can do fried chicken. Yeah. Actually, yeah, next week. I mean, next week we could look at doing a fried chicken,
we'll
guys.
See what people ask for next week, and we'll do whatever the most people ask for. Let me just, before everybody goes, let me just make sure we've answered all the questions on Facebook. Dave said he's going to give this a try. Thanks, Stuart. Thanks. All safely cooking. That's tonight sorted, and some for the freezer. Just the dishes to do and sit with the beer. Stuart, we loved your prep this morning.
Yeah, mate, that was perfect.
So Victoria, you do your rice the same as me, so I'm doing that right then. Okay, that's good. Emma, no need to thank us. You're doing a free tutorial. Thank you. Not ordered for a while. Need to eat it though, so going to order later. When you're next in Brixham, we're in Brixham next this weekend coming up. Rice tutorial. That's fine. We could do a simple rice tutorial. Emma says hers is like rice pudding. Mine used to be exactly the same. Oh, so sorry. I said Hannah thinking it was Hannah Campbell, and it's actually Campbell Hannah. So it's a guy, not a girl. So sorry, Campbell. And then yeah, Victoria said yeah, fried chicken. So cool. So yeah. Enjoy it.
So next week, well, I'll tell you what we'll do next week. We'll do a longer tutorial, and we'll do a plain rice with some fried chicken. Yeah. So we'll do a fried chicken and plain rice. We'll post the ingredients over the next couple of. So So it's gonna be Tuesday at 1 o'clock. I know everybody's home, and that's why we wanted to use the time wisely and just share some tutorial with you guys. So I'm gonna cover that. Just make sure you put a lid on that. Leave it covered and leave it just simmering. You know. Make sure you check it before you eat it. Again, guys, it's so important. I know I've got enough curry sauce in, and I know I've got enough of everything in because I do so much. But when you eat it later, just determine whether or not you could do a little bit more salt. You can add the salt after when you're eating it, anyways. But you'll know when you're ready to cook it next time. You'll know if you want to use a little bit less, if it's too curry-ish, or it's want to be less or more. Play with everything. Like I say, garlic, you can never use too much garlic, you know. You don't want it overpowering, and but it's good. So garlic, and obviously carrots and potato. You know, like I say, if you're just doing a family of 4, 5 good size, 6 good sized potato, 4 carrots, just chopped up. Slice the carrots, chop your potato, fairly small. And that's it now.
Exactly like Stuart said, if you've got any left, just let it cool and then pop it in the freezer.
Yeah. With the food and hygiene, the whole thing with cooking is if you're gonna have it later, you want it to be cool within 2 hours. So, you know, just put it in small portion, get it cool quick, put it in the fridge, and then you got dinner tomorrow. But always remember, everything you reheat must be piping hot, especially chicken, seafood. Okay, so important that you make sure you heat really well.